Hey everyone, Todd here, internalarchitect.com, and in this video you're going to learn about how cancer spreads. I want to go into a little bit more about this because it's a little bit of a complicated issue and understanding from a layman's point of view. From a survivor standpoint, you get a little bit more information as you go through it and you understand it a little bit more, but I wanted to kind of just share the simple way of why cancer spreads and how it spreads. And by doing this, it'll help kind of give you a little insight on how things kind of progress as cancer grows. Before I start, hit subscribe below so you can get updated on when I put out a video. And give me a thumbs up and a like also, and share the video if you think that someone you know could really use this. So awesome. As cancer grows, things just start to happen, I went through lymphoma, so mine is a little bit different, but not a whole lot. Normally, cancer will start as a tumor, and it'll slowly grow, and it'll slowly grow, and get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and then at some point, it'll break off, and it'll make its way into the bloodstream, and then it'll kind of go to wherever it wants to go, and that is where it starts to spread, and that's what is called metastasizing or metastasis. And from there, it can go to anywhere in your body. It can go, say you have lung cancer, it might get into your blood and make its way to your liver, to even your kidneys. It can even your pancreas. It can go anywhere that there's blood. And once that happens is when it becomes a lot more difficult, because as it metastasizes, different drugs react different ways to different parts of your body and different organs and stuff. So with that said, that is really the simplest way that it does it. It could also get into your lymphatic system and kind of move around your body that way too. But ultimately what happens is it just breaks away, gets in your bloodstream, and it travels throughout your body. Now with lymphoma, it gets a little bit it's a little bit more challenging, because your lymphoma starts off in your white blood cells, but there are 5 different types of white blood cells that are happening in your body, but there's only one that I'm going to talk about. But the 5 different white blood cells are your neutrophils, your lymphocytes, your monocytes, your eosinophils, and your basophils. And the one I'm going to talk about the most is your lymphocytes. Now, your lymphocytes, in my case, I had a lymphocyte that created the lymphoma, and we couldn't kill it with the normal rounds of chemotherapy that were prescribed to me. I went through 12 rounds of chemo to try to kill that. Didn't quite work. I ended up having a reoccurrence, and that's when we ended up moving towards having autologous stem cell transplant. So what happened for me is I had a lymph node just above my heart, and it ended up just creating the entire thing, and it ended up moving throughout my entire lymphatic system. I had a lymph node removed out of my armpit, and I had biopsies done through a mediastinoscopy of that lymph node that was above my heart. It was all over that you could see through my PET scan, and it had spread to my liver. I was pretty fortunate about that, because fortunately your liver is one of the fastest regenerating organs in your body. Nonetheless, it did go there, and so I was at risk of having liver damage because of the chemotherapy. Fortunately, so far so good. But as it kind of progressed, it really that's what ended up happening. It spread throughout that. It spread through my lymphatic system. And so over time, it just got worse, and it got worse, and it grew, and it grew, and it just kind of went all over. And so that's why I ended up getting staged so advanced. I was staged 4B. It was actually 4B reoccurring Hodgkin's lymphoma. And that's kind of how that whole thing spread. And that's actually how cancer spreads too, is it'll just move, it'll get into your bloodstream, it'll get into your lymphatic system, and those are essentially highways of transportation for everything else that goes on in your body. So that's how cancer spreads. If you have any questions, hit me in the comment section below. I'm sure that there's a couple weird ones that you are thinking about, whatever, but at the end of the day, that is really the gist of how it goes on. Yes, there's a lot more, and yes, there's a lot more that I even don't understand about it. But as long as you understand the gist of how this works and how it spreads, I think that's the most important. Then you can have a bit of an educated discussion with your oncologist and your doctor about how all this happens. So thanks again. I really appreciate your time and your energy, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.